Before we get started on how to use Mule, let's take a look at what the end result will look like. Here in my inbox, I have 6 different emails that I was sent as the teacher when students filled out my Google form and told me they had late work submitted. The nice thing about this versus just a regular email from a student or a Schoology message is it is standardized. Every single email that comes from the form has the subject late work submitted and then the student's name. It tells me their last name, their first name, their period, the exact name of the assignment, and the reason that the assignment is late. So I have a standardized view in my inbox every time I get a late assignment. But what this also does is, besides having an email notification, every single one of these records is in a spreadsheet that I can refer back to with a timestamp so I can see exactly when the student told me that they had submitted late work. So to begin, you create your Google form, and you can see here that this late work form asks for the student's email address, their last name, their first name, what period they have the class, the exact name of the assignment, and the reason the assignment is late. When students submit the form, the responses will go into a spreadsheet. So you'll have a record of each and every time a student submits late work and what their name was, what period, the name of the assignment that you can refer back to instead of having to go through a bunch of emails. If you want to know right when it happens, right when a student submits this form, you can use the Google Form add-on called Mule to receive an email notification. To set up Mule, start by going to Add-ons and notice that I'm in the Responses, the spreadsheet, which is the green icon, not the form itself. So you have to be in the Responses. You'll start by going to Add-ons and then Mule. And either, if you've never done it before, it might say Launch. If you have done it before, it might say Setup. So you'll say Setup and then choose Source Data and set Merge Type. First thing you need to do is tell it which sheet to look at. So if I look down here at the bottom, I can see that I'm on the sheet called Form Responses 1. So that is the sheet that I will select here. Second, I have to tell it when I want it to perform this utility. Do I want to do it when the form gets submitted, or do I want to do it on a time basis, maybe once a day? For most people, you'll do it based on when the form is submitted. So this says Send on Form Submit. So each time a student fills out this form, it will generate an email that gets sent when they click Submit. You can leave this section alone. You don't need to do anything here. And then you'll select Next, Templates, and Send Conditions. So you can send emails to lots of different people. You can have up to 10 templates. For this one, we're doing this for our own purposes. So we're just going to have one template, and we're going to send it for all the rows. You can put conditions on it if you wanted to limit it and only receive an email for certain things, but for our purposes, we're going to just do it every single time. So we will save the template settings, and if you want to name this something else, it doesn't really matter what you name it. So you're going to save the template settings. And notice down here that's creating some hidden sheets that you won't really ever mess with or do anything with. You'll click Next, and here's where you're going to build the template. So you are going to have the email get sent to you, the teacher. You can make the subject be whatever you want. So for me, I'm going to say late work submitted by, and then I'm going to insert the student's last name and first name. So here are all the fields from my form, and when I click on them, it will insert that information wherever I tell it to. Now I can go down into the body of the email and I can insert whatever fields I want here. So when I get an email, it will have late work submitted by the student's first name and their last name, and then all this information in the body of the email. I already have some responses in my spreadsheet, so if I go to Save and Preview, I can see what that would look like. So here's the first response from Ellie Roosevelt, and I look at all of my different rows, I can see Katherine Johnson submitted something. Now that I've saved it and previewed it and I know what it's going to look like, I can save and send all. And this is because I've submitted some stuff before I created the Mule. If you've no responses in your spreadsheet, then you wouldn't have anything to preview. So I'm going to select Save and Send All. And what it should do is go to the 6 responses that are already in my spreadsheet and send me the notification email with all the information that I just did. So it's giving me a preview and showing me what it's going to send. So when Mule sends, it shows me over here in this column the send status. So I can see that it sent an email to myself at this date in this time. If I switch over to my email, I should see that I have those emails in my inbox. So here is an email for each of those that were submitted. Let's take a look at this in action. Here is the Google form that the student would fill out that you would post in your Schoology course. So the student fills in all of the information, clicks submit. The teacher should then receive an email in their inbox with this response, and it should also show up on the spreadsheet. As you can see, here is the record that I just entered for my fake student, and the timestamp right here shows that it should have sent the email to my inbox. When I go to my inbox, there's the email notification with the information from that student. Once you set up a Google form and the resulting spreadsheet with Mule, you don't really ever have to touch it again. It seamlessly will send you those email notifications and keep track of all the student late work that's submitted.